Amanda Miller, everyone.
Hi Toby, thanks for having me.
Thanks for
at
coming
Creative Cubes, it's great to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. We've got a lot of the crew that you
hang out with
a lot here, so it's great to finally have you here. So for those of you that don't know, do you want to give us a backstory on who you are, what you do, and how you do it?
Sure. So my background, I started out, I'm one of those corporate refugees, started out in the law like lots of other people, but eventually moved into the not-for-profit space, and then from there I moved into philanthropy, so actually working with families, and I love working with families, intergenerational, across generations, helping them to actually work out what problems they're trying to solve in the world, and how can they do that strategically. So I did that for a number of years, and I started to get a bit frustrated because when people give away money, they often give away a percentage of the larger pool, but they don't look at how the larger pool of their money is actually invested. So the classic example is Bill Gates, where he was heavily invested in Coca-Cola, and then he was making donations to obesity and diabetes research. But so he was creating the problem on one hand and then trying to fix it with much smaller amounts, which would never solve the problem. So he's now sold he's divested out of Coca-Cola. That's a great example. Same with people that invest in fossil fuels and coal, and then are trying to fix climate change. That doesn't work. So there's a big divestment movement out of coal and fossil fuels and into investing in renewable energy. So I guess where I moved out of the kind of grant making side and into how can we move capital into businesses that are solving social or environmental problems but are also making money. So they're not charities, you don't need to worry about grants and fundraising, but you can actually go and raise capital and scale your business, and as it scales it can have great social or environmental impact. And my husband Quentin was at UBS for 20 years in corporate finance, buying and selling companies and listing companies, and he left to set up to do that on his own, and so together we combined the profit and the purpose, as I like to call it, or the money and the meaning. The money and the meaning. You're
walking the talk.
So we worked together. So we wanted to work out how could we actually make a difference in this space. So we set up a business called Impact Generation Partners, because it's the impact generation. So like the next gen, wants to make a difference every day, not just one day I'll save up money and I'll do something good with it. They want to make a difference in all their buying decisions, in their work, how they live their life. And also it's about generating impact, positive impact. So we called our business Impact Generation. We wanted to invest in these types of businesses ourselves, but we looked around, there weren't many.
At what stages? All types of stages?
Well, seed, but also a little bit further on from that where the model's actually been proven out. There's been a bit of a pilot, an MVP, and it just needs capital to scale and grow. And there weren't many at that stage. So we thought with our skill set we could come in and work with entrepreneurs who have built early stage businesses that are solving social or environmental problems, but also got a really viable business model. Also later stage, we do some later stage businesses as well, and we come in, we help them really get investor ready, a financial model and information memorandum, whatever else they need, and we connect them with our network of investors. So we've got philanthropic foundations, we've got family offices, private investors who really are looking for these. They've all said we want to get into this space, we want to align our investments with our values, but there's not many, it's hard to find the opportunity. So we kind of curate that and bring it to them, and we invest with them.
I love that. So that was my next question. I was going to say, do you not only curate the audience for your investors, but you're also co-investing alongside? Yeah,
we do, and I think that's really important, and I think that gives the investors confidence. A lot of them know us, either they know me from the philanthropic space, or they know Quentin from the general kind of corporate, business advisory space, and although they do their own due diligence and they look at it themselves, the fact that we've carefully selected it, because we don't do hundreds of these, we're really selective in, it's hard to kind of find the businesses that tick all the boxes.
So how do you do that? Is there some inlet? Is there some sort of pitch night?
It's like places like Creative Cubes, and there's all kinds of the whole startup community and kind of, I guess, general business community, but definitely the startup community, the social startup community. So the Foundation for Young Australians is great. Just being out there and meeting people all the time. So just keeping your ear to the floor
and understanding who's who and who's coming up.
And mentoring in different accelerators. We do a bit of that as well.
So for those out there that are, part of this platform, and part of why I'm doing so many vlogs, is to not only create exposure to people like yourself, but also to motivate and stimulate people that, hey, I have an idea, but I just don't know what to do or where to go. So with that, is there a criteria set, or are you just kind of like, hey Gav, hey Rachel, when you see or hear something, just send them off?
I think Gav and Rachel and people like that know what we're looking for, so they know our criteria set. But other than that, it's being out there and meeting people, from the Melbourne Accelerator Program, from everywhere, Melbourne Uni, they all know, know what we're looking for. But basically, we're looking for a really strong team. We're looking for a founder that is driven by life experience and they are obsessed about solving a problem that has impacted their life. That usually, that is really important for us. And then we're looking for an idea that so it's solving a social and environmental problem, but it's really financially, really it will be as successful, and there'll be a really good multiple on return because it's a really big. We look how big the market is. We want to.
I was going to say, are you looking to also back solve problems? So if some of your investors are like, hey, I have this amazing business over here, wouldn't it be really cool if we had sort of like a startup division which could then eventually morph into that?
Yeah, look, we haven't seen that much of that yet, but I think it's definitely an opportunity. So I think that's something that, down the track, we might see. What we do see is businesses that don't kind of self-identify as I'm an impact business, but actually the reason they're set up is to solve a social or environmental problem. Like they might be in ag tech and saving water, or in med tech and improving communication in hospitals, and they don't set it up because they think, this could be a good impact investment, but actually they're driven by solving a social problem. So they're really good, and we love those, and we look for those businesses all the time.
Very cool. So if you are one of those businesses, I'll link all of Amanda's details, websites, how to get in touch, so on and so forth, in the description below. Is there anything that you are really, broadly you're very excited about impact? Is there any specific companies or alternatively some really green opportunities in 2018?
Look, one of the spaces that we've been really actively involved is in the disability space because of the NDIS, this big social reform. It's really about creating a market for the first time. People with disability have got choice and control over how they spend their money. So one of the businesses that we backed is Hire Up, which is an online platform connecting people with disability with support workers. And what's also exciting about that is they just won the Deloitte Tech Fast 50 as the fastest growing tech company, and that just shows that's a commercial kind of competition, and they were the fastest growing tech company, and they actually got the second out of the Asia 500 as well. So what's really good is it's showing you can actually be a for-purpose company and be working in a space like disability and still also be commercially really attractive. But I think disability is a big area because also with technology, artificial intelligence and virtual reality, there's so many different applications, even with 3D printing around disability, that can make, bring costs down, make it more accessible, enable people with disability to do all kinds of things that they couldn't do before. So I think that's a really interesting area. Future of work, I think, is a really interesting area that I'm interested in. And I think there'll be lots of problems to be solved there around changing nature of workforce. So look out for that one. Everybody talks about artificial intelligence. I think we've got to be really careful there. There's how that gets applied. So all of that.
Very cool. So guys, thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for taking the time. I'll link all of the details below, and maybe we can get back together sort of like Q1, Q2 next year, and sort of like revamp the landscape and get a bit more
absolutely, because this whole area of impact investing, it's really big in the US and the UK, and it's exciting for me to be part of it because the ecosystem is just growing in Australia, so there are more and more great people getting involved. So to everybody out there who is involved, keep going, and happy to revisit it, and congrats on the great work you're doing.
Thank you. It's great to be able to rub shoulders with people like you and Gab and Rachel and Georgia and on a constant basis.
Exactly. The people in this space are just fantastic. I love being involved in this space, and everybody collaborates, which is great.
That's what it's all about. And so for me, and from a Creative Cube standpoint, I want to be able to create the platform in the physical that enables that personal collaboration. I'm less excited about selling desks and chairs, and I'm more excited about building community. And with community, we have a saying here, and it's not our saying, but if 1 on 1 is greater than 2, we're all in. And so what I'm trying to do here is create exactly that. Georgia and Rachel create 10. Gav and Sade create 50.
Yeah.
So these are the sorts of things that we're looking to do on the physical.
No, I think the community is the key word. I met with someone today from the innovation team at Australia Post, and her main role is around the future of community and work. And I said to her, that's the first time I've seen it phrased like that. You always see the future of work, but she's looking at the future of community, and I think it's the key to so many things that we're doing. It's all about people. That's what I was saying about the companies we invest in, but it's all about relationships and people.
100%, 100%. And you know, this isn't a platform for me to talk about creative Cubes, but you know, we're hyper sensitive to who comes to the community because we know that one bad apple can really spoil a lot. So we're super sensitive about that, but that's not to create exclusivity in any sense. That's just to ensure that the people that are in here really trying to make an impact on whatever. You know, that they're not going to be, you know, dragged down by that one little thing. So, Amanda, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to turn it off.
Okay, thanks. See ya.
We've got an awesome vlog coming tomorrow, but a really awesome vlog coming Monday. We have a special guest coming in from Los Angeles. I always get goosebumps talking about stuff like this, but I'm really excited. This is my old business partner from Los Angeles coming in, so stay tuned for that. And have a great weekend, guys. See ya.